This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff, Ryder.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. If that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense. And
they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that. Having your
rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you.
And he's going to go down again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And they'll go with the ground attack here.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Rolling to his right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 38.
Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Washington, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Denver getting set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Looking to throw. Warren. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forcing incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. A big play there for the Broncos on third. 41 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
On first down, Warren. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. He's got daylight past the 20. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick six last time out.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Let's go! Learn it!
Operating from the gun, Warren. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
2nd and goal from the 1. From the gun, Warren. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. as his guys are in for 6. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They're starting to put some space here. First quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on first and 10. And they'll run it here. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. He'll drop to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. They'll set up to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Start offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on first down. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And out across midfield down to the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Operating from the gun. Warren. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
And an alley to run. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why you have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
On 1st and 10, Warren. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Gonzalez good on the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there just before halftime. 57 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Escaping the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They're going to look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. In for the score. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
throwing on first down. Warren. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Good! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
The final shot before break. Warren. And his throw here's incomplete. So all right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the break, aren't they?
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure that just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Ohio!
Now this time he'll look to throw. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflated. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go now.
Off-play action. Warren. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Looking to throw on second down. Warren. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing on third and long. Warren. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores.
All right, here we go.
And they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 44, 20, 10, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 23. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rule.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
All right, here we go. 3, 19.
To throw on second down. Warren. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a third and long here. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Jaguars getting set to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now a handoff working right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Dancing away at the 35. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Finding room to the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. That good for 19 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 10 more there and another first down. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game.